Interested in getting tickets to a concert or sporting event? Use SeatGeek and get $20 off on your next purchase with promo code OberSports. That's OberSports, OberSports. What's going on, guys? Jacob over here. So, welcome to BrewTalk episode 2, and for everyone who is expecting this video to be released yesterday, I do apologize. I was so busy yesterday, I just could not find the time to get this out after the Brewer game yesterday, so I do apologize for that. But the Brewers last week, 6 games, they went 3-3 in those 6 games. They dropped a series against the Pittsburgh Pirates on the weekend and won a series earlier in the week against the Chicago Cubs. Kind of a mixed bag as the record shows. The Brewers, I really feel like they should be better than their record says. And I do think that they are better than their record says. They are 8-7 right now, but with the way their starting pitching has done this early in the season, plus the amount of runs that their offense is putting up lately, it does seem kind of odd that they're only 1 game above 500. And I really think that that's kind of in situational moments, their bullpen has just not been that great. Josh Hader has been used kind of sparingly to start the season. He's only pitched 3 2/3 innings to start the year. That's just because there hasn't been a lot of situations where he, would have to close a game. But I would love to see Craig Counsell use Hader in a less conventional closer role at some point. Like maybe bring him in for one of those 2-inning saves. I remember at the beginning of 2018 he used to do that with Hader all the time. I would love to see, Counsell mix it up like that again, because the bullpen has kind of been struggling. There's not a lot of really reliable guys right now. I do think that it will improve as time goes on. I think a lot of these guys are still kind of getting settled in, especially Devin Williams, who had that amazing year last year, won reliever of the year and rookie of the year. But he really didn't get a lot of time in spring training to work on his pitching, and he kind of looks a bit rusty to start the year. He did pitch a scoreless inning yesterday, so that is a positive for sure. But Devin Williams, I'm really hoping that he can get it turned around quick, because we need him in that back end of the bullpen. It's really kind of looking flimsy right now. In the middle of the bullpen. Oh, and by the way, Perdomo, yeah, the left-handed reliever that we picked up last offseason, he's looked really, really good. I do want to point that out as well. But the middle of the bullpen, or the middle relievers, it's not really working for the Brewers right now. I mean, Brent Suter, Josh Lindblom, both guys that have kind of gotten lit up in that situation. And, I certainly don't trust either of them to pitch in a situation where we only have a 1-run lead in, say, the 6th inning when the starter just got pulled after the 5th. So I feel like those are the situations where the Brewers are not being able to capitalize and keep the lead. And then they have to come from behind. Guys like Rasmussen and Yardley are also guys who you want to be able to count on to hold down, the middle innings of relief. But they really just haven't been themselves this year, especially Yardley. After last season, I think he posted like a 1.54 ERA or something. He was really, really good in that middle relief role last year, and this year, he's just kind of fallen off a cliff. So it's kind of sad to see that. But I do have faith that the Brewers are going to be able to solve this issue, either via the pitchers just getting better or a trade or something like that. But it's definitely something they have to address. The middle relief spot kind of gets overlooked a lot by people. But it is very, very important. It's not your best relief pitchers, and they're obviously not good enough to be starters, but you still got to have some guys who can hold down the fort there, give you a scoreless inning or two, and hopefully the Brewers can figure that situation out, because that's where I see them losing the most amount of games right now. But outside of that, this past week, the Cubs series especially, I want to talk about that. I know it was kind of a while ago when that series started, but it had some fireworks for sure. The Brewers have been accused by the Cubs, at least, of throwing at Wilson Contreras a lot. And, you look at the numbers, the Brewers have plunked Contreras more than a few times over the last year or two, and, I can understand the frustration on the Cubs side. But when you go back and actually look at the pitches he's getting hit by, none of them really look intentional. They just look like up-and-in pitches that are hitting his elbow guard. And to be fair, I think Wilson Contreras kind of crowds the plate a bit as a hitter, and, there's a reason he has that elbow guard on his elbow, because he can take those pitches. He doesn't have to get out of the way like other batters usually do. So, to me, I kind of think he's overreacting a bit to that. A lot of batters have been getting hit this year, especially on the Brewers too. I mean, they've gotten hit plenty of times this year. I think Hira had a game where he got hit 2 or 3 times, but you really didn't see him overreact or get, super upset about it. And the Cubs, of course, though, wanted to take things into their own hands, specifically pitcher Ryan Tepera, who, when Brandon Woodruff was up to bat in that second game, he threw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right behind his legs. And that's definitely something that's kind of scary. You don't want to throw at somebody intentionally like that, and that's what the Cubs ended up doing in that situation. So Ryan Tepera got a 3-game suspension. Cubs manager David Ross got a 1-game suspension. Both very well deserved, in my opinion. It's certainly something that they really took out of proportion and made a lot worse than it actually was. So hopefully tensions are a bit simmered down now, but the Brewers do play the Cubs this upcoming week after they get done in San Diego. So we'll have to see what kind of fireworks they have for us in Wrigley Field for sure. But the Cubs are bottom in the division right now. They're 6-9, and they really have scuffled. Their hitting has been really bad this year, and their pitching has been very subpar as well. So we could be looking at the Chicago Cubs of old this season. A team that just really is scuffling, and a team that you're able to kind of look at the schedule and say, hey, we play the Cubs, we should be able to get back on track with that series, which is not typical of the past few years of games between the Brewers and the Cubs for sure. But the Pirates series, we'll talk about that too. Kind of a frustrating series, I really feel like the Brewers should have won that game on Sunday yesterday. The first game, Adrian Hauser really did not have it. Or at least he was okay, I think he went 4 innings, 3 runs, but he got pulled when he only had given up 1 run. He might have been better served to actually have been left in that game because he looked like he was, not doing too bad. He was kind of scuffling at times, but he's also a big ground ball pitcher, and he got taken out with 2 on and 1 out, so he could have gotten a double play there, got out of it very easily, but they brought in, who did they bring in for him? Suter, that's right, Brent Suter, who's been really, really struggling to start the season too, and I hope he can get it turned around, because we really need Brent Suter on this team to be good. He's kind of been, the anchor of that middle relief for a long time now for the Brewers, but, that first game was just a mess. The second game, we dominated. Brett Anderson had a phenomenal start. We won 7-1. And then yesterday, of course, I really feel like the Brewers should have won that game. Big Daniel Vogelbach had 2 home runs, but wasn't enough in extra innings. Feyereisen came in with that run around second and immediately gave up a run. Then the Brewers weren't even able to advance Jackie Bradley Jr. in their half of the inning. So a frustrating end to a week of Brewers baseball. But, they're still in a pretty good spot. They're second in the division. They have a winning record. Of course, they have a series against San Diego, and then the Cubs, and then the Marlins, and then the Dodgers. So 3 out of 4 of those teams are kind of, teams that the Brewers might have trouble with. So hopefully they can post at least a 500 record against them. I'm not really expecting them to, go on a tear anytime soon with these teams coming up, but maybe they could, have a good run and compete against these teams. They got to face Musgrove tonight, who threw a no-hitter earlier this season, so yeah, that's going to be really, really fun. I'm going to be at a game against the Marlins, and I'm going to be at a game against the Dodgers too, so finally making a return to live sporting events. I have not been to a Brewers game or any live sporting event for that matter in over a year, so I am extremely, extremely excited for this season to start, or for that series, my games that I'm going to for sure. But anyways, guys, though, that's all I got to say in this video, really. I just kind of wanted to recap the series, or the past week in Brewers baseball for you. I know, like I said, I'm going to be trying to get these out on Sundays, but if I don't, it will be coming on Mondays. So just know that, it's either going to be on a Sunday or a Monday. Expect it on a Sunday, but Monday as well, if I don't get it out on a Sunday. So anyways, guys, though, thanks for watching. That's all I got to say in this video. Leave a comment in the comment section below. How do you think the Brewers are going to fare against the Padres, Cubs, Marlins, and Dodgers? Leave your comment in the comment section below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Brewers.